What's going on, everyone? So Lakers begin this brutal schedule, and we really need guys to pick it up. All right. Missing a lot of guys. LeBron James is not going to be during this stretch. Obviously, the Lakers want to make sure that he's as healthy as possible and take your time getting him back into his groove. Again, not winning anything if he's not healthy. So I'd rather, if we have to be the fifth seed, but a healthy LeBron, we're good. I'm in good shape. I can live with that. Right. But we need guys to pick it up. Austin Reaves, this is his time to shine. Right? This is a good opportunity for him because he's going into a contract year next year, right? And with him going into a contract year next year, he's a guy that, needs to kind of show, like, is he the guy next to Luka, right? Because he's going to make probably 30, 40 million, right? And I see a lot of people that are like, he's not going to make the money. He is. The team's going to pay him 30 plus million, right? Even with this new CBA and stuff like that. He's averaging 25 and 6, something like that, as like the third option. Teams are going to be like, what is he as like your second or first option, right? And we've seen him as your first option or even your second option, and he's out there giving you 30 and 12 games, 37 and 12 games and stuff like that. He's going to get it back, right? Is it going to be from the Lakers or is it going to be from another team, right? Either way, we got to find out. And this is a good opportunity to find out where you can get, a 10, 12 game sample size to kind of look at. Obviously, that's not going to tell you everything, but kind of give you a good feel of like, okay, Austin Reeves and Luka can make it work, right? We really need those two to pick it up. Gave Austin Reeves pass these last few games because he just came back from injury, as I will with anybody. Praised him very heavily these last 20 games or so because he's been very good. He's been very consistent, right? Without Anthony Davis, without LeBron on occasion, right? Without Luka during some of those stretches, and even with LeBron and Luka, he's had these good stretches, right? It's very critical of him the last year. And it was warranted, right? He was very inconsistent, right? When you are inconsistent and play poorly, you get criticism. When you're good, you get praise. That's how it works, right? But nonetheless, Austin Reeves really needs to kind of get back to being that consistent player, be that guy that can help with him and Luka kind of scale this team and at least keep them afloat while LeBron is out, right? Doesn't help that, you have guys like Rui and Jackson Hayes and stuff like that, but even if we're losing, but those two are great, then at least you can be like, hey, these two are doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? Everyone else needs to step up. Or you can make that justification that it's like, well, if we had Rui and we had, Dorian Finney-Smith and we had Jackson Hayes, right? This would be a very different game, very different stretch, all that stuff, right? But Luka, right? Look, I have not been critical on Luka. I know a lot of people really want me to be critical of Luka. I know people look at it and go, oh, you're critical of LeBron and Reeves and all these other guys who aren't critical of Luka because they've been on the team for years, right? Again, Luka just came back from injury. Luka just got on a brand new team, learning a new system, new team, new play style, new everything, right? It's easy to integrate a role player, right? Dorian Finney-Smith comes to Lakers and immediately has an impact and is immediately the guy you want him to be. Why? Because he's done it his entire career everywhere else. It's easy to just go, hey, you know what you've done everywhere else? Yeah, do that here. And it's just, they never miss a beat. That's why role players are easy to integrate into new teams. That's why other teams usually go and try to trade for these key role guys because it's easy to kind of just plug and play them. A star is hard. A superstar is even harder. And then you're talking about Luka, who is one of the best players in the league, top 2 to 4 at worst. And on top of that, he's one of the most high usage ball dominant players in the history of the league. It's going to be a learning curve. As soon as we traded for him, I said it's probably going to be a learning curve. But between now and the playoffs, I just want to see the progression. I want to see the growth. The guy is averaging 25, or I think it's 24.5, but basically almost 25, 8 and 8. And people are like, oh, he's trash. If that's trash, sign me up, man. That's crazy. Now, is he transcending unbelievable Luka? No. And I've talked about that, right? We need him to be better. This is a big stretch for him. We need him to be that transcending Luka. We need him to be the best version of Luka. But here's the thing. Teams are going to target him like the Nets did. The Nets' entire game plan was to slow down Luka and make everyone else beat them. That's literally what every time Luka touched the basketball, he saw 2 or 3 guys to get the ball out of his hands. Most of his shots he had to take had to be contested or forced shots because he wasn't getting any of the looks that he was getting, like or getting the isolation like he was when LeBron and Reeves was cooking and stuff like that. If Reeves was cooking, then they wouldn't have been able to do that. But Reeves wasn't cooking. He was struggling, right? So they were like, hey, until Reeves figures it out, let's just keep doing it. And it worked. Guess what other teams are going to do? Other teams are going to lock in and hone in on Luka and try to make everyone else beat them. So where Reeves really can step up and really could step into that role. We need Reeves to be the best version of himself because that's going to take pressure off of Luka and allow Luka to be better, because now teams can't just like double and triple team Luka because they have to worry about Austin Reeves. But when you don't have to worry about Austin Reeves and he's only made one field goal the whole game, you live with that and you trust, hey, it's working. Don't fix what ain't broke. But if Reeves starts playing like we know he can play, now you can't do that to Luka. Now you have to worry about both of those guys, and you can't double both, right? So now you got to figure that out. So, and if you're going to let Reeves be on an island and he's cooking, we've seen him. He can cook anybody, right? So then he starts going. And then Luka can be, that guy, right? This stretch is going to rest on those two guys, Luka and Reeves. How well can Luka get back to being the version we know he can be? And can Reeves get back to being that no AD or no LeBron, first or second option Reeves? If that happens, the Lakers, I think, will be fine during the stretch, right? They'll probably still lose a couple games during the stretch, but I think that they'll win more than otherwise. I said, if we can go 3-3 during this 6-game stretch, that would be a win for me. If we can get that version of Luka and Reeves during these 6 games, I wouldn't be surprised if we go like 4-2 or something like that, which that would be huge. I mean, that would be like, wow, especially with the team. I mean, we're playing the Bucks and the Nuggets literally twice off of back-to-backs and like a 6-day span. That's tough. That's tough for any, even if it was just like days in between, that's tough, right? Like, so Lakers need, obviously everyone else needs to step up. Guys need to play well. I'm not expecting Gabe Vincent and Jordan Goodwin to combine for 41 off the bench every night, but we need other guys to step up. At the end of the day, it still rests on your main guys, which are Luka and Austin Reeves. We need these two guys to figure it out. And they're very likely are supposed to be our 1 and 2 for the next, 5-10 years or whatever, right? So we need to see Reeves really step into that role and be able to play that role, right? Can him and Luka mesh? Because if they can't, and it's awkward or it's just not working, or Reeves is getting neutralized or whatever, you might need to look elsewhere in the offseason. You might be having a different conversation about Reeves. And it might not be because Reeves is bad or not. It just might be because they don't work. Not every pairing works. Russell Westbrook is a great example, right? Russell Westbrook, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. On paper, you're like, man, who's beating that team? In reality, it was god-awful. Look at Phoenix, right? Again, it's not so much as just like putting names on the back of the jersey. Sometimes, the players and the pieces have to mesh. And so can Reeves and Luka kind of be those guys? Can they mesh? I think we're going to find out here during the stretch, or at least I hope so, either way, right? And hopefully it's a good thing. Hopefully it's like, we're winning some games here. And it's like, okay, like, wait a minute, time out. Like, this might be good. We might have something here, right? And kind of give, Luka that running mate. So that way it's not all on his shoulders, right? We've seen Luka do more with less. So I do believe and have faith in Luka kind of coming into his own. He's getting what he wants when he wants it. He's just not finding the bottom of the net. Can he start to find the bottom of the net? That's something that I want to see, right? I can't be overly critical of Luka because, one, again, he's averaging 25, 8, and 8. But two, again, it's all context matters and circumstances are important. But I do need to see Luka be better. Even if he's not like transcending like best player in the league Luka, or top 2 or 3 player in the league Luka, we need him to at least be, top 10 player in the league Luka, right? Like, or top 7 player in the league Luka, where it's like, okay, like we'll be good. We'll be all right. And then Reeves stepping up and playing to his role, right? Again, it's just Reeves has been on the team long enough. He's familiar with these players. He gets it. He knows the system. He understands the system. He plays the system. I think again, context is important, right? Like, situational awareness is important. Understanding the full picture, right? Understanding the full scope and not just like looking through a pinhole like, no, it's seeing the whole view. And to me, Austin Reeves and LeBron, I'm more critical of them because this is their team. They've been here the longest. They understand. They've been through the ins and outs, right? The team is built and structured around them, right? Like now you're adding Luka. Luka has a lot that he's still trying to figure out. Just came back from injury, all that stuff. But we're starting to get into those like, game 14, 15, 16, getting in the top 20 games. And I want to start seeing Luka start coming to his own. And I also think it'd be really good for the Lakers. And I think it'd be good for LeBron. Because if Reeves and Luka can be the guys that we need them to be, then LeBron doesn't have this sense of urgency to rush back. Two, it allows the transition for Luka to be the guy and be the best player, right? And then Reeves kind of be that second tier guy, which LeBron said he wants, right? He said himself, Luka's going to have the ball. Luka's the guy. Reeves is going to have the ball. Reeves is going to be the other guy. I'll figure it out and I'll work with it, right? What's the best way to have that become a reality rather than defaulting to LeBron like we've seen at times? Not having LeBron and Luka and Reeves having to figure that out. And if Luka and Reeves figure that out, now LeBron can really do what he says he wants to do. Now, it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to actually do it. But if Luka and Reeves can be those guys that LeBron wants them to be, then LeBron now can just plug in and you got it worked out. Now LeBron's just got to figure out how to plug in, which I'm not worried about. So this could be very good for the Lakers, but we need Luka and we need Austin Reeves to be that peak version. But as always, this is a discussion and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think like, yes, Luka and Reeves, this is on them. This is on their shoulders, them to be the guys for the Lakers. This is on them to be, every bit that we need them to be. Also, if they can be that'd be great for LeBron. Kind of allow LeBron to get into, take his time in returning and then kind of come in, plug in, and figure it out, working within those two and letting those two kind of be the guys. Do you agree? Disagree? Mix in the middle? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.